and after a tough start, and our guys adjusted to not having James early, which really became just before the game type of decision. He tried to go inside of, today was his first day. He had practiced the last 2 days, but he tried to go in our walkthrough today, and then he tried to go before the game, and he just wasn't there with his ankle, which he injured in Saturday's game against Rutgers. But we got off to the slow start. We got it right back where we needed to be, and then we just didn't have the same activity and aggressiveness that we needed to have to start the second half. And certainly it's very easy to look at it in the sense of the way we finished the game, and whatever time that was where I think we scored, I don't know, 30 points on 13 possessions or some number like that. I wish we'd had that continued aggressiveness and activity, especially on the defensive end. Early in the second half may have been a different story. But our guys continued to battle, and we learned a little bit about that. And we also learned that you cannot let a very good team like Wisconsin play at the comfort level throughout the game. And we needed to make it probably a harder, tougher game on the ball. Certainly their size is their size, and our size is our size. But man zone, combination defense, whatever it was, we needed to just do a better job of pressuring the ball, making it tougher for the ball to get inside. And we didn't do as good a job of that. And then they took advantage of it. So good win for them.
Tom, James, do you have any idea how long he'd be out? I mean, do you
No. I mean, it's just got to continue to rehab it, and we don't play till Sunday, so I hope he's back. But we've done nothing with him the last couple of days before today. So he was able to finish the game Saturday, but then it just got a little worse.
I guess I was going to follow up on that, but was it something where I guess because it was loose Saturday it wasn't so bothersome, but when you come back the next day, the day after, kind of swell up on it?
Yeah, I don't remember the exact time. He heard it late in the game, and he finished the game, and then it just got a little worse that night, and into the next morning. So they treated it right away after the game, and he was there. He was there a couple different times after the game. So he's done everything. I'm proud of him in the sense of he really wanted to play, and there's no doubt about that. And just couldn't do it. He just didn't have it when able to put that pressure down. So long season, and we would have liked to have him. And but at the bottom line is he wasn't available. So we moved on. But hopefully he'll continue to rehab and heal at a good rate. So he's ready for our next one.
Tom, it's great to see you again, the best of your family.
You too.
Thank you. Your guys never give up. They never give up, and it was a tremendous run. Obviously, 9-0 to start, and then 13-0, 16-1 coming out of the locker room. How big was that in your mind, Coach?
Well, the 9-0 is not a big one, because we've dealt with that before. It's the early one in the second half is the bigger one, certainly, because we let them get too comfortable. And we needed to really establish, the first TV timeout, somewhere in that 4 or 5 minute range, that we were going to cut it. It's not about taking the lead necessarily, but it's about cutting into it and getting it to where it can be a workable number. Being down 8 is, when you're shooting threes the way we're capable of, is not a big deal, but letting them get the looks that they got, that was the problem. So certainly that's where the game was, and then we let it snowball on us a little bit, and they continued to battle and fight, but no question the start of the second half was what did us in.
Tom, you got down 32, but you cut it to 12. What does that show you about this ball club?
Well, they're capable of doing it earlier is when it shows it to me. But I mean, they did a good job. We got great looks. We continued to push the ball. So we got to the foul line. That's what we needed to do earlier. We need to force the fouls. It's not easy to do. You got to really force the drive off movement. Don't force the drive. When they're in help defense, but get the ball reversed, be able to drive, and that's what it was more than anything else. I have to watch the film.
I guess, sorry, Tom, going back here. You talked about that start to the second half. I think you started slogans Purdue, maybe Michigan State as well, out of halftime in those games. Are there similarities that you can look at and say, and kind of diagnose, we've had some of the same problems coming out of halftime in some of our Big Ten losses, or is that something that maybe we need to look at the film?
That's a good question. I think it's more, we had a slow start at Illinois and we ended up winning the game. I mean, I think every game is different. think you look at combinations a little bit. It's really, really important. It really comes down to defensive activity and making catches hard around the perimeter. And they're such a good passing team and such a quick passing team. They don't waste dribbles. And when they dribble it, they're not dribbling it, they're driving it. And they're very good at that. So you've got to account for everybody, you know, and everybody is on their team is able to play at the rim, they're able to play in the mid-range, they're able to play off the three, off the ball, or with a three, they're able to play off the ball screen, they're able to isolate and drive. So they're constantly keeping you in movement, so you got to make every catch harder, and the good teams do that. And when we're playing well, we do that. So I think it's just our activity defensively, and then making sure that our rotations are good, you know. Most importantly, staying out of rotation, but when we have to rotate, make sure that they're good. I'm sorry?
You talked about being active defensively. Can you share what your game plan was to neutralize their interior? Was the hope that you could double team quickness?
Well, you know, what we wanted to do, we didn't really do so well. So we'll see if we ever get a chance to play them again.
Take one more for Coach. Back. Coach, you talked about how the run in the second half, we noticed that your players fed off each other. They got really excited during that run. Can you talk a little bit about what it felt like to be part of that run and what the players felt like as they fed off?
Well, you'd have to ask them. I'm just coaching the game. So, I mean, what I said to them, in answer to your question, what I liked about that is it wasn't one person creating it. It wasn't like, okay, let's follow the leader type thing. It wasn't, well, this guy got out. Now, Troy maybe a little bit with the way that he attacked the rim, but our guys are young, and that's not an excuse, it's a fact. And when you look at it, I mean, we're 335th in experience. When you look at the Ken Pom thing, which just continues to blow me away, we don't understand what we're capable of sometimes. And I'm not saying we would have won tonight, okay? They're a very good team, but we don't understand what we're capable of. And we don't understand that when we play with that aggressiveness on the ball, that we're making it harder to get it inside, that we're rotating to the glass quicker, that we're driving to the board, driving to the rim the way that we want to drive by running to the corners and coming down the middle, those type of things. That's good. And when it's everybody doing it, that's something to build on. So that's what I would take from that. I like that it wasn't one guy got hot and everybody watched them and fed off that. They all played right.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.